Alright, what's up everyone? This is the Pound for Pound Combat Sports Podcast. Today I'm going to be introducing a new series called the UFC Matchmaker series. I'm going to be making hypothetical matchups for different UFC divisions. I thought that it'd be a nice start with the women's flyweight division because Valentina Shevchenko recently regained her title. And I think the Shevchenko versus Grasso saga has finally been concluded, at least for the time being. So I think that the division can finally move on from that. So we'll start with this one. Again, this is the first episode, so we'll see how this goes. I've got the top 10 fighters with the champion. We might not use all the fighters because we'll have to see when we get there. I might match someone up with Valentina, which I probably will, so we'll hold on to this one. But they're in order of their rankings. I also have the rankings over here on the left, so I think this is a fantastic UFC division. There's tons of good fighters, tons of exciting matchups. I think the first matchup that makes sense in my eyes would be maybe a Macy Barber versus a Natalia Silva. The reason I like this fight is because Natalia Silva is a rising star in the division. Macy Barber's been around for a while, but she hasn't quite gotten that one fight that moves her into title contention, although she's looked really good in her last few fights. She's coming off a win against Caitlin Karamanara, however you say that. She changed her name. And Natalia Silva is coming off a great win against Andrade, and then she also beat Araujo. So she's beat these two fighters, so she moved up to 6. I think this matchup makes sense for a title contention fight, or maybe one more fight after that. I think that a good title contention fight would also include Manon Fiorot. So either of these fighters could also fight Manon Fiorot, but I'll leave that over here. I think that if I wanted to make a title contention fight, it would probably include Grasso, but I don't want to see Grasso fight for the belt again just yet. So I think that we could also do something like either of these fighters fighting Manon for the title fight, or we could just go ahead and make the title fight Shevchenko versus Manon. That is an interesting fight. Manon Fiorot is coming off of a huge win streak. I mean, she hasn't lost in the UFC. She's beaten Rose, previous champion. She's beaten Caitlin. She beat Blanchfield, who was also probably looking at the title soon, but since she lost, there's going to be like a little in-between fight probably till she makes it to title contention again. So I think Shevchenko versus Manon is a good title fight. And then the next fight after that, one of these two fighters, whoever wins that. Grasso, I think a good comeback fight for her would be either Blanchfield or Rose. I think that Rose probably deserves it more because Rose is coming off a nice win against Tracy Cortez. She was very dominant. Rose has good wrestling, good takedowns, so we're going to have to see if Grasso has improved. So I think this makes sense in terms of getting Grasso back into title contention. The Blanchfield fight probably doesn't get her as much attention because Blanchfield kind of had a really tough fight against Manon. She really didn't do much at all. Her striking was completely negated and her grappling as well. So I'd like to see how Grasso reacts to Rose's grappling. Blanchfield, I think, needs another maybe one or probably 2 fights before she gets back into top contenders. She's ranked number 3, so I'd like to see her fight someone tough who has good striking and good takedown defense. And I think the perfect fight would probably be Andrade. Even though Andrade is a little bit lower, I think that Andrade has good takedown threat. As we've seen against Rose, she was able to slam her and KO her with a slam. So, and then her striking is also pretty good as well. And then Karamanara, that leaves us with Viviane and Araujo. I think that fight makes a lot of sense. Araujo is coming off of a loss against Natalia Silva, and Kaminara Caitlin is coming off a loss against Macy Barber. Macy Barber is ranked number 4, and Silva is ranked 6. So both of those fighters lost to higher ranked fighters. So I think that matchup makes a lot of sense. And then we got Ribas. You could probably throw in maybe against one of these two, but I think Ribas probably needs to fight maybe like a Tracy Cortez. So that's actually a good matchup for Ribas to come back from, as well as Tracy Cortez. So, whoops. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Is this a good little step for the division? Do you think these fights make sense? I believe, again, the winner of this fight probably fights the winner of this one, and then the winner of this fight probably fights the loser, and then that brings the next title fight. I'm interested to see what the UFC does with Grasso, because she was a champion. She's been dominant. She lost to Shevchenko in a pretty dominant. Well, Shevchenko was dominant in that fight, so I think that could be a sign that the UFC is trying to move forward from that 4th fight. Maybe book that in the future, but for now, I think Rose is a fantastic matchup for Grasso to prove that she can defend the takedowns and then utilize that great striking that she has. And then Macy Barber, she's got a good base. She's good wrestling, pretty good striking. Her striking has improved a lot. And I think that her wrestling could prove to be challenging for Natalia Silva, who I think is quote unquote the dark horse of the division. She's been very dominant. Her striking is electric. But we haven't seen her really tested on the ground. Not that I can remember. The story of Silva has been her striking through and through. She's been able to dominate every fighter with her striking. And I believe that if Silva can win this fight against Macy Barber in a dominant fashion, she should move up to fight for the title. And then again, this title fight, the reason I like this is because Firo had fought, she had fought Rose, who I thought, and Blanchfield, who I thought would have success taking Firo down. But what we saw was Firo is very hard to get down. She's very strong. Her striking is very good. And so I'm curious to see what Shevchenko can bring to the table against Firo, who's hard to take down and hard to outstrike. So yeah, that's my my dream matchup, or my hypothetical matchups for the flyweight division so far. Again, this is disregarding any matchups that I already made. I haven't checked, but let me know what y'all think. Is this a good lineup for the future of the division? Let me know who you think deserves that next title shot against Shevchenko. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hit that like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.